Hello and welcome back to the round 3 coverage of the Michigan Professional Disc Golf State Championships here in Saginaw, Michigan. We are at Wicks Woods for the final round, my favorite course of the 3 for this year. And taking a look at the leaderboards, we have Tim with a pretty comfortable lead here at 22 down. Marweed making it back onto lead card at neck 15, 7 strokes behind, and everyone else right behind him.
Yeah, I mean, there's 9 people within 5 strokes. So as long as Tim can stay clean, there will be a battle for the rest of the field. But up to Tim after his 10:56 rated round 2.
It's insane. Even your round, which was good, only comes up to 1,008 because Tim just had to shoot that well.
Of course, not good rated.
Very true.
Mitchell finding his way back on the lead card. 989 rated last round.
And Ziggy joining us for the first time, having a card that says, last time I made lead card, Reagan was this. So good to have him back on a lead card in the common era as we start off on hole 1. Before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to the parks department for Wicks coming out and putting wood chips on all the fairways and doing an excellent amount of work here to get this ready for state championships. And off we go on hole 1, 281 feet, little turnover here, no OB to speak of. You just want to put something into that zone and get it up into the fairway for your putt. I imagine, Marweed, you'll be throwing some form of a forehand.
I think that gravel road was OB, but that's pretty far to the left.
Yeah.
For the 2021 Michigan State Professional Championships in MPO, starting off, representing Team Discraft, OTB Discs, and Birdie Fuel and Upper Park Disc Golf, Tim Barham.
All right, Tim here, Discraft player, probably going to throw some form of a backhand, I imagine. He is a confident forehand, but I think like a Buzz SS or equivalent putter form would probably a good shape up.
Yeah, that's been his tour series for as long as I remember, so I'm sure that's a Buzz SS as he throws that disc so good.
Gets a couple early trees there. He's going to have a long look for his potential birdie.
Up next, representing Team Innova, Great Lakes Disc, Tilly's, Aloft, Mitten Bags, we have Andrew Marweed.
Cookie Monster!
Marweed with the pink shorts. I like it.
Going back to the pink, going back to the Sexton Firebird.
Have you ever not gone back to the Sexton Firebird?
There's never been a round in my life where I've not found a Firebird, so.
Is that the first disc you ever bought?
First disc I bought was a Pro Wraith.
How do you remember that?
I still have it.
What?
Yep.
Do you throw it?
No, but I have an ace with it, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, is it on your wall?
No.
Third up, Mitchell
Oh,
Clark.
I'm sad. Short and sweet introduction from Mitchell here, local player. He's just looking to finish strong. He has our avocado shorts, our socks on, and he's decked out in all black.
This looks like a pretty smooth forehand.
Boom.
It was surprisingly big skip, but that's totally just fine. He hit that line perfect.
And rounding out our MPO lead card, a member of Team Discraft, Great Lakes Disc, Wolfpack Disc, Luna Disc, Team Thornton, and Mitten Bags.
And the Reagan man himself, Ziggy, first time on my coverage. Excited to have him here. And realistically, we have 4 very proficient forehand players here that have made our final card,
For sure, yep.
which makes a lot of sense with what we saw in our first 2 courses at Sanford and at Freeland, which were very wooded and very technical.
And this course is, I wouldn't say it's either backhand nor forehand friendly. It's very compatible for both. As we see Tim Gerain, this 45-foot putt to start his round. He has no intents of slowing down, so.
Yeah, he was insanely hot last round. See if he can repeat that kind of performance today. Ziggy's just a touch short there.
And Ziggy making the comeback after a couple injuries and whatnot. He's been playing some pretty solid golf this last few months, and honestly probably close to the whole year. So awesome to see him back shooting well. Hopefully he can continue his good performance this weekend and have a good finish here at this A tier.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Ziggy, I've heard, Ziggy was one of the longest standing 1,000 rated players in Michigan for Michigan's history.
In Michigan, I have no doubt that that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he will be above 1,000 anytime now, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, he's been playing way better, very good golf here. 3 birdies, 1 par, and we're off into hole 2. What are we doing here, Marweed?
All right, so 393 feet. I can't really see a backhand turnover getting to the pin. So a backhand mid-range to the corner would be a smart play. If you have a monster forehand, a sweeping hyzer left to right with a big skip, I do not imagine there was. I can't see any twos on this hole, so I don't think there was any twos. We'll find out after we tee off here, so no spoilers, but a very tough second hole nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. The first hole played at negative .07, so just barely under par. Not as well as I expected, but there are some guardian trees in there, I guess.
Yeah.
Second, this hole is playing much harder at plus .76. So a birdie here from you guys, according to the field, would be insane.
Yeah, I was trying to mush this sidearm. I just leaked it. It's a little bit too wide.
Hit that one branch.
Yeah, I was getting some good looks in practice, so I was trying to attack early, being down, 7 strokes. It's kind of what you have to do, but should be okay for a par, but Mitchell hits early.
Yeah, hits the one tree you can't hit in the center of the fairway, and he kicked it right, which is where you don't want to go. There is OB technically left on that mound there. If you go dead straight the whole way, there's that mound. If you go over that, there's OB on the other side of it, but really it shouldn't come into play too much.
Yeah, and Ziggy just throwing a nice smooth forehand to the landing zone, not being too aggressive. He is very good at, knowing his speeds and knowing his angles and making sure he lands in the middle of the fairway.
Mm-hmm. As soon as I say that, Mitchell kind of gets a cut roll over towards the OB, but he's short of it. Not quite OB yet. So he's going to have a third shot here. And another bad kick, and that's headed towards OB as well.
Yeah, this is a tough hole. I mean, it's like if you're in the fairway, it's not too bad, but you can see if you're off any part of the edges of this fairway, it becomes very tricky as Ziggy has the floatiest little Anheuser forehand, and I've seen it was such a good shot. So much touch on that.
For those of you who can't throw forehands like me, I threw a backhand off that and put it in perfect position. I'm probably 20 feet in front of where you are right now, Marweed.
That's left. A great shot.
So, well, it's a mid-range. I can't throw a driver.
That's fair.
So I just threw it right into that spot, and that's the best way to set up for a 3 if you can't reach it. But like you said, you were mushing on that because you can reach it.
I was trying to. I just threw it. I probably threw it a little too hard, but we'll have to settle for a par, which is, still gaining strokes on the field. But in my eyes, I'm trying to, run down first right now, so that's going to be a tough comeback.
Right.
So
to answer your question from earlier, now that we've had all have thrown our second shots or plus, there were birdies.
There were.
Plural on this hole.
2?
There were.
2. That's impressive.
You have an idea who they might have been?
If I can't think of anybody, but if they do, it's probably a person who has a big sidearm.
I guarantee you one of them threw backhand.
Okay, who were they?
Brendan Tetloff.
Oh, okay, lefty. That
lefty,
makes sense.
and then D.W. Haas.
Really? D.W.
I imagine there was probably a big
He did
putt.
not throw back. What did he throw? He probably threw a Andrew Marty Centurion.
Clearly. 100%.
I don't know what he threw. That's crazy, though. Well, either way, good 2s from them.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Mitchell with the double bogey there, but still lots of golf for him to play. And at this point, we're just kind of playing for our positions. Tim's in a pretty heavy spot. You're trying to track him down, see if if he slips up, you're going to be there to capitalize. And hole 3 is going to be an opportunity to do that. OB right behind the basket here. What's your play?
I actually didn't know there was OB behind the basket, so
you didn't?
It's a good thing I didn't, but a pretty tricky hole. I remember it being kind of windy at this part of the course.
Yep.
350, probably playing more like 365, kind of uphill. Probably a lot of forehands. I didn't see it was super straight flip up backhand, but Tim's going to show us this nice flex route just to get to the bottom of the hill and give himself a putt. But it's a good skip, and that is a ideal shot.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, there's kind of OB latent in some places in this course that make things a little more difficult. They are used usually to separate the walking path. So if you see a walking path, there's a chance there's an OB line, and that was looking really spicy until it hit that last tree.
Yeah, I kind of liked the high route. It definitely requires a much further throw, so it was pretty much a max distance hyzer, but it just seemed more open, and it worked out.
Ziggy doing Ziggy things there, really, can't quite pump it all the way there or like basket height past the basket, so he's going to put it literally in perfect position and just have a putt at it.
Yeah, and I think he knows that, and he's content with a 35-footer.
Yep.
I guarantee that's right where he was aiming.
He's a spectacular spin putter.
That was a mush, too. He was ace running that.
Yeah, Mitchell's definitely trying to take a run there. He's not at that OB line there. He's going to be just in front of it. Ziggy here trying to get this one, and
Dead center.
man, that looked good. I don't think you guys knew this was OB either while you were playing it.
No, I definitely did not.
Because Ziggy
so-
just ran that, and
Yeah.
realistically, if he misses wide right, that's going to go OB.
Oh, it's that close?
I mean, it's within 20 feet, 15
Okay,
feet.
That's pretty close then.
Like, he's OB right now when he took that step out.
Right. Yeah, so he's going to do a smart layup. There's no need to run that putt with a downhill. Tim's going to have it in the circle birdie putt that doesn't catch, question mark?
Big question mark.
But
That's
it was right side, but it could have caught.
Yeah, it was low enough where I thought it was going to caught for sure. And that's going to give you the first stroke back on him. Oh, boy. We're making moves here, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's never like good to see someone miss, but that was kind of like
For sure.
the first hope of maybe there's a chance, 6 down, with
Right.
15 to go.
Because
but-
you got it. I mean, you never hope it as a competitor, right? But you always just, if there's an opportunity, you got to
You
capitalize
gotta
on
capitalize,
it for
correct.
sure.
Yeah, so going into hole 4, only 195 feet. The drone is flying through the inside route, which is a very acceptable route to take. I think the preferred route is the outside route. But either way, a very slim gap, and it's so short and so right that
Playing
Yes.
a little get lucky.
yes, well said. And that did not get lucky. I
That
thought I
did
threw
not.
it perfect too, and just hit that last leaning tree.
There's like three layers to that gap, which is the difficult part.
Yeah,
Because you can miss the first 3 trees and still have 4 more trees that you have to somehow sneak past as Ziggy goes on the outside gap and misses.
doesn't hit anything. Yeah,
Left
that's-
of stuff,
That
right?
works. That should be inside the circle, I think.
It's right on the edge. I put just inside. I think you're right. Tim is gonna go way high. He thinks that the gap to hit is up top.
Yeah, he squares that too. That's gonna be way back.
Yeah, and I think like the idea of it's fine because he's trying to get the disc to be skinny.
Right. The more vertical it is, the less percentage chance it's gonna line up a tree. But then again, it squares a tree, so
Right, but if you do
Disc golf.
square it, it's gonna be bad. And
yeah, roll backwards almost.
Mitchell says I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna be right by the basket. So I guess it is what it is. Have Tim here from how far do you think this is?
It's gotta be at least 80, right?
At least bang.
And that had some heat on it. So he was strangely very confident about that putt. So
Mhm.
that was a very good birdie to get from Tim.
Crew view for him here. And he is back where he was a moment ago. Slams that in the center of the chains. Never a doubt.
No emotions, just routine from Tim. So seeing
Nice little
that,
tap in.
seeing that, I know I have to make this. So
Oh, and that was a
Ooh, where you
great
going, bud?
bid.
yeah, I thought I had that one. So no trees were harmed, I promise. Just a gentle little
No
nudge.
trees were harmed in the filming of this disc golf round.
Ziggy, a little short on his putt. He's gonna be shaking his head, but tapping his 3, and he'll move on to the next hole.
Definitely hate to give one away when you're that close because it feels like you should make everything inside circle, but sometimes you just little slip up.
It's such a weird hole too, but it's like
Mhm.
you can't expect a birdie it. It's like I don't know, the shortest little bonus hole ever.
The hole averaged almost dead even
That's
difficulty,
surprising.
hole 9 or so.
Wow.
So like I think you're right. I think a lot of people struggle to get past that layer, and then
Yeah, I doubt there's very many bogeys, but it's honestly tough to get a birdie. You just gotta either throw a perfect shot or get lucky. Hole 5, 325 feet, pretty stock shot. Hyzer with you can throw putter if you throw far, mid range, fairway, pretty much any type of disc as long as you hit that initial gap and then make the disc go left. There is a ditch short of the basket, so you need to make sure to give it a little bit of height. Otherwise, you will be caught up a little bit short.
I did accidentally misread the distance on this hole when I played this round. I thought I said 380.
Ooh, pumped it.
Oh yeah.
Tim read it perfectly and threw it the exact distance. So that'll be a 20-footer for Tim.
So let me ask you this now. You're watching Tim. He's got a really strong lead right now, 7 strokes. What is your mentality like at this point? Because your hope is to chase him down, right, and to try to sneak away with this win. But at a certain point, there's an inevitability that kind of can creep into your mind. What is your mindset in this position? Are you just not ignoring that and just keeping your foot to the pedal?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I honestly, like, it doesn't really matter if I'm if I don't win, it doesn't matter if it's second or eighth at this point. I'm trying to, birdie everything possible to try to make a comeback.
Yeah.
But like you said, once I know it's over, it's not like I'm going to be playing
Less aggressive.
Yeah, but I'm not going to make like stupid decisions to drop myself out of a good spot. But definitely only focusing on one thing. As Ziggy makes up for the last putt with a very nice, just outside the circle putt for his birdie.
Just goes to show for all you amateurs out there and other pros that are struggling, but just keep playing your game. Just whatever your game plan is, just continue to try to execute that, right? That's the whole goal.
That's the goal, is stick to your plan. That one sneaks in for a birdie.
I was trying to just, sneak past that
center,
one.
though. Just high center. Tim essentially taps in his birdie as
it's just moving right along.
Mitchell.
A little low, but
Star frame.
yeah, there we go. I like that. Coming in now into hole 6, the only par 4 today, and there's going to be a little bit of a question mark there because there are a couple holes that we could say are par 4 at this course. This one's definitely a par 4 based on how it's playing. 408 feet. What do we got to do here, Marweed?
A layup. You just throw a putter, maybe a stable fairway. You just try to get to the mouth of that gap. I tried all the up and over hyzers, and you might get a little bit closer, but you're not two in this hole. So you just want to throw something to the mouth and then go wherever you're most confident with to attack the green and not hit any of those trees that are in the middle. So Tim looks like he's throwing a zone, maybe like some kind of Buzz OS type of disc, but this nice easy hyzer to the perfect position.
Yeah, right in front of that gap on the left side there. He's a little far back from it.
Yeah,
but
it should be okay though.
yeah. If you can see the basket,
Yeah, it's fine.
you should be able. Yeah, it'd just be fine.
This looks like a little bit wide, but once again, it still should be fine. Yeah, it's a nice skip. So
Right next to Tim's there.
yeah, there's not too much of a reward for going with more distance. So, but I'm more confident with my Marweed Firebird on hyzers. So
Yeah.
taking it a little wider, knowing it's gonna fight left.
Yep. You get no skip, and you're right next to Tim.
Yeah, exactly.
Ziggy also going with the backhand route. What's it like playing with a card that all are also forehand proficient? Like, do you guys talk to one another about lines and stuff at all, or?
Not too much. I mean, we're all professionals, so we know what our shots, we know our game plan, our lines and stuff. But it is a little bit nicer visually to see people throwing forehand lines as of like backhand dominant. You can't really like get a visual of how your shot could end up or something like that. But not too much discussion.
Okay. Mitchell there hits an earlier tree. He's going to have a long shot for his 3 potentially.
I don't think this is the route he was going for, but it was just big enough for it to work.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is that gap is so tight. Honestly, if you throw it straight, it's a good shot, and if it hits a tree, it's unlucky. But
And you guys had a crazy cluster. I think everyone was within like 4 feet
oh
of
yeah,
each
we
other.
were all right there. So I think that's the more preferred route. A little subtle flex, playing to the. That was actually a beat up AVR 3.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I was honestly just playing for barely right side of the basket, and it worked out well. I was happy about that shot.
Tim now. Also a little inside, but worked out.
Yeah, I think as long as you don't hit those trees, Tim's one of the most, I don't know, just like tricky putters. Like, you put 10 trees in front of his face and it don't matter. So he'll be just fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, Mitchell, I'm not sure if he meant to lay that up or if he was trying to run it, but green does have a little teeth to it. There is a drop off. Not a crazy one, but it does slope
decent
downhill.
enough, yeah.
A 15-foot miss would turn into a 28-foot or 30-foot miss, and so.
Tim just hits that putt dead center from circle's edge. He's got 3 in a row now, so he's
Feeling good.
unfortunate for me, but fortunate for him. He's building some confidence for sure.
Because the more holes he eliminates, the more likely it is it's going to be impossible for people to catch him with this type of lead.
Right, and I'm 4 down through 6, so playing fairly well and not even gaining a stroke.
Right along with him.
Kind of tough. Yeah.
Hole 7 now. This is one of those questionable par 4 question marks because this is a tough hole to get to.
I don't really see people getting a 2 on this hole. I mean, it's hard to say. If you can throw really far, but the thing is it's 500 feet and it's uphill, so I think most people are going to be laying up and just taking a 3. But the thing is, the nice thing about this hole is you can still throw as far as you want and still like a layup. So you
Right.
don't need to like lay up on your shot particularly. So
One of the locals was talking to me about this and like, I can't wait to see this hole. And I literally responded with, you can't wait to see 4 layups.
yeah, I know it's not
And-
really.
And they
that
said,
exciting.
no, I've seen it birdied before. And I went, who? And they said, Kevin Jones birdied it. And I just had to roll my eyes and
That's
be like,
Kevin Jones,
'cause, yeah, that guy, one of our premier distance drivers in the game.
Yeah, so I figured the only way I could get a look at it was a big turnover flex.
Ooh, Destroyer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, I knew it was inside. It looked okay, but just caught one of the last little branches and kind of like shot it down. So
And to your point, just like you had said, you didn't get as far as you wanted. It's still going to be the same layup, just a little farther.
and that could have hit that tree and dropped straight down. And it's, I mean, a tougher 3, but it's still Firebird hyzer up and down. So it's not too much danger to speak of.
So the road is not playing OB, so you notice that there's no OB marker. But that the reason I was asking about the comment earlier is because I thought I heard Ziggy asking a question about that roller to Tim if he had done it before, and Tim had said something along the lines of, "I've never gotten it close."
Yeah, it's like it makes sense, but I don't think you're gonna two it either way.
Right.
So
And I think Ziggy was like, "You're right. I'm not gonna do it that way anyway, so I might as well go for it and do something fancy." So it's gonna be way over here. This is probably what 280.
yeah, pretty far out there. It looks like he's gonna swing his Raptor out and about. And speaking of
Bang.
birdies,
Man, I shouldn't have said that.
what a gorgeous looking shot. It was looking perfect the whole way. Had a decent amount of spectators to witness that too, so it's awesome
yeah.
to see him throw that in.
He was panicking a little bit because he was calling for that to sit down. He thought that was going to hit wood chips, but
Look at him.
as soon as it hits it, he's like, "It is what it is. I'm a legend." Gives it a bow. Nice performance from him there. Congratulations, Ziggy.
You better say only 2.
It's one of it is. They're the only 2 on this hole.
But wait, no, it's
No,
so close.
no, I'm wrong. There's more than 1 2.
Nice
I mean-
up and down with the pig though.
This is what 100 feet, maybe a little less, 80.
I'd say a little more, or maybe just because
Really?
it's uphill. But
Okay.
yeah.
Because I mean Mitchell, who's a big bomber here.
Yeah, this was a big shot.
This
I
was
mean,
huge.
That was honestly just a hyzer. It didn't really flip up or even over. So
with a Halo destroyer.
right.
It was a big bomb here, but just a touch short from him. Good run though. Ziggy just had to big putt him.
Yeah.
Dang. Things
I didn't even realize it was that close. I guess I kind of spelled it, but
Darn. It's
Yeah,
okay. I
sorry,
spoiled
guys.
it too. You've been doing so good about no spoilers. No
I
spoilers.
almost made it 3 rounds.
That's it. We'll go back. Redo the hole.
Yep. 3 pars and 1 amazing birdie. Is that going to be a great score for that hole?
What disc was that?
That was a
I
pro
wonder who
pig.
that was.
Spider pig. Spider pig. Hole 8, 257 feet. One of the easier holes on the course. Nothing really in the way except this little mound here. So any type of shot you want to throw, you want to make sure to clear that mound though to give yourself a nice tap in. Anything too deep though, and those trees might be in contention of your putt. So keeping it close is important, but should not be too much of a factor.
I completely forgot about. I paused the drone for a minute in the flight because the guy in the truck just yelled at me. He's like, "Hey!" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Hi." I was like, "Really?"
That's it. Yeah.
So
that
just-
was looking like an ace route.
Yeah.
Right there. That was,
This is the hole that you would expect ace runs to happen on.
yeah, I think it's actually the good play to do it, honestly.
Yeah,
because you
there's-
want to make sure to clear that hill. So the smart play is to throw it high up and try to crash it down in the basket.
Ooh, and that looked like a spicy line as well. But it's going to have to be just by the basket for an easy 2 instead. Okay. Firebird?
Yep, Married Firebird.
Firebird.
Yeah,
Go get yours today. Oh, they're sold out.
they're sold out. But thank you for everybody who has purchased one this year. It helps out so much on tour, even though Tim's tour series. So appreciate everyone going out and supporting the local pros and buying a tour series disc.
Or like me, buying more than one.
More than one. I mean, I
yeah.
got a bunch at home, so I supported myself too.
It's a good disc.
It's a great disc. Mitchell comes
Predictably
up
stable.
a little bit short, but inside the circle, but a tricky putt, and
and
just
he-
doesn't commit.
Immediately out of the hand, he knew. Got you there, tapping in. Excuse me, tapping in a easy bird. Ziggy doing the same. Or 3 really, really spectacular drives, just nice and close.
Yeah, not the hardest of holes, but being in tap-in range is always nice. As you can see, these leaves starting to move a little bit. It's getting a little windy, nothing to be too concerned about though, but it's nice to keep him close.
Do you think this is the easiest hole in the day?
I don't see why not. No, it's not, but it should be.
It's the second easiest.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Got a couple holes coming up where we might see a little improvement on this.
Yeah, this one's probably the
scores.
easiest, you're right.
This one? This one, oh man, if this was the easiest hole,
No, this one's pretty tough. Hole 9, par 3, 458 feet. I can't really see a way of attacking it unless you have a smash sidearm. Most people are going to be trying to be aggressive, getting through this gap and maybe getting yourself with a 100-footer or so. But
Right.
yeah, par 3.5, no doubt. Most people are going to be playing for the 3.
talking with a couple people, I think ideally, like best case scenario, I think people are talking about 80 footers. It's just so hard to get the disc that far right and that far first.
Yeah, I mean, because if you have a smash sidearm, you can throw that far, but it's got to be like on all hyzer and have a
Yep.
like a counter skip almost.
And that's perfect. What Ziggy just did is literally like almost ideal.
Yeah, he was playing for a layup, for sure. I'm sure Tim is doing the same.
Uh-oh.
Actually, he was trying to go flex, I think, and just sawed it off a bit. It's honestly the first mistake that Tim has made in,
A round and a half.
yeah.
Kind of
Many-
opens the
many
door
holes.
though for you a little bit. You've been matching him shot for shot.
Yeah, I tried throwing the cover off of that disc and just turned it over. I threw that disc so hard.
Have you ever thrown the cover off a disc successfully?
Not successfully, no, but
I'm going to root for you.
that one probably hit the tree so hard it might have done it
Do
itself.
it on coverage.
Okay.
Just want to see like Destroyer flapping in the wind.
Great shot by Mitchell, though. Very unfortunate skip. That might have been in that 80-foot range you were just talking about, but I am left with a very tricky upshot
Yeah,
that
this
I
is-
cannot afford to
This
get
is
up and
not
down.
good. And you are finding this inside gap?
I was aiming for the inside gap, little hyzer flip with one of my beat up pigs, and I was so stoked that
That's
I hit
insane.
that gap. Yeah, though, I was relieved.
Here's where Tim's at in jail.
Yeah, I can't really see him trying to get up and down. I think he's honestly just trying to progress.
Yep.
I don't think it worked too well though, but
Yeah,
I mean, up and down for a 4, he's up by 7. It's not the worst thing.
This is another one of those holes where it's like you could make it a par 4, but it'd be kind of an easier
It'd
par
be a little
4.
too easy. I agree.
And Michigan's very notorious for that in course designing, where you make these holes that have these dog legs on it, but it's like if you made the basket another 80 or 100 feet farther in the woods, it's a true par 4, versus where it is right now, which is like it's kind of reachable, but it's not.
Which like par doesn't really matter. It's all
Right.
scores, but just for the purpose of scoring separation,
You want
you
that
know, make it a
difference.
little closer, make it a little longer, so there could be more separation.
Allow
but,
one or the other, right?
yeah, still a good hole nonetheless, and looks like we're gonna have 3 pars, I think, and 1 bogey.
One bow, yep. Tim's first mistake we've seen on coverage. But the rest of you is still, like, no one's playing real poorly. Mitchell with the unlucky double bogey there in the beginning of the round, but has really cleaned up since then. Ziggy's still right on you guys' tail as well. 5 down through 9 as well. So lots of good scores here. We'll see how it kind of concludes here. 9 holes to go. He still has a 6-stroke lead. We'll have to see how that holds, whether or not can he make the miraculous comeback or not.
We'll find out.
We'll find out, Marweed says.
Thanks to everyone being a patron. Only as little as $1 a month, so give it a try.
Do it. Do it. I'll love you forever. Do it. See you guys in the back 9.